Company number 3, Airbnb. Now, Airbnb, what do we know about the company? They're very disruptive. They have kind of taken the entire hotel hospitality industry and made them very afraid. And it's a creative, fun company. Like when you travel, you can sleep in fun, exciting places, like in a tree house overlooking the ocean or an Airstream, next to a lake. Like there's a lot of creativity and options in traveling that we just didn't have 10 years ago. And I think that's for that reason, because Airbnb was so creative and so fun that when they could almost present any logo in the beginning and people would be okay with it. Now, the Airbnb logo that most of us became familiar with was a quick little script, kind of like 1990s style, just clear white letters surrounded by blue, or maybe it's the opposite. And probably if anyone else were to have used it, they would have kind of, designers would have said no way. But there was something so fresh and creative about Airbnb. People are like, you know what? I think it's cool. They can do whatever they want. They're just cool enough to do whatever they want. It works for you. Well, that didn't last very long, and they relaunched this Airbnb thing. So let's just kind of take a quick look at this post-it note here and just ask the question, what are we looking at? Now, some people, let's answer the question, what problem are they trying to solve? I'm not sure, but we can look at what they made. Maybe this is an A, like this gestures an A. Maybe in the middle, this right here gestures the pen drop that you see on maps. What is my location? Where am I going? It talks about travel and where you are here. And they just put them together. One other thing I see is kind of a low-key infinity loop. Now, typically when we talk about infinity visually, we talk about an 8 that's turned on its side and it loops like this. It keeps going. This is a bit of an infinity loop. You can take your finger and trace it on the logo and it just keeps going over and over and again on that little racetrack. Now, people like that. It's not a major design feature, but it's kind of pleasant. I do want to talk that with this, they had a lot of fun, playful interaction that you can see on their app and on their website. You can see a pretty comprehensive color style guide that they used on a lot of these things. It reminds me, quite honestly, a little bit of the Saved by the Bell intro. They have a lot of little squigglies and bright colors and colorful things like that. I can't answer the question why they did what they did. Why they did what they did. And I can't even answer the question, do I like it? But again, with Airbnb, they're so far ahead of the game in so many ways. I think they can kind of do whatever they want and people are okay with that. So I wish the conversation was better, but that's all we got.
Creative partner and the CEO working together. If those two people can work together, it's magic, and there's nothing that can rival that.
On the board, you can see there's like thousands of marks,
Right.
thousands.
Yes.
And as you're saying, each round we were getting nearer, but there was a moment, and I know that we've kind of
Yes.
talked about this. I'd love you to kind of explain what that moment was.
Well, this is the great thing about collaboration, is you were doing all this really great work, and we have so much of this work behind us, but there was a moment, and we said, what are we about? And what we're about is belonging. That is our mission, to live in a world where we belong anywhere. So what we need to do is be able to communicate that. And the simplest way to do that is to create a symbol, an icon, something that people all over the world can identify. In any culture, in any generation, when you see this symbol, when you see this icon, it represents belonging. We had to truly be a global idea, a world we live as one. And the reason this icon was so brilliant, it was as an icon. It wasn't a word mark in English that felt American. We wanted something that transcended language, transcended culture, transcended geography, and it had to be equally identifiable in every culture, but unique to each culture. And I think there was a great universal sensibility to it. You created color palettes that represented geographies around the world, but you created a consistency where any culture could identify with it.
And what does this brand now enable you to do? What can you do with this that you probably couldn't with the last one?
I showed this brand to Jonathan Ive, who's a friend of ours, one of the best designers in the world. He looks at me and he says, now you can go anywhere.